So I have decided that skincare alone is not going to get me to the perfect skin that I've always wanted. And I have also decided I am done chasing that goal, that dream of having the perfect flawless skin. It's not gonna happen, like I said, with skincare alone. It's exhausting, it's a waste of money. I am sick of falling into the trap of being influence, for lack of a better word, or like with watching something saying, oh, do you have a bumpy texture on your chin? Try this. Do you have clogged pores? Try this. I'm over it. It's not healthy. It's not, like I said, it's not attainable, and it's not worth spending the time and the money into. And here's what brought me to this epiphany. I know this is not revolutionary thought. It's been said so many times. I had kind of already been on track to coming to this realization, or to having this belief cemented into my head. But what brought me to this being finally cemented into my brain was this past weekend. We went out of town for a friend's birthday party. And this was like not an environment that I was comfortable in. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a party person. I like to stay in. I'm a homebody. And if I do go out, I want to be out in nature. I don't want to be gambling or at a club, which is what they were getting ready to do. All the girls were getting all dressed up and stuff, and then all the guys were just sitting around drinking and chit-chatting. So I was sitting there by myself, and I did what most of us would do when we're having a little bit of free time and then nobody really to socialize with. I bring out my phone and I start scrolling through Instagram. Now, I follow quite a bit of dermatologists and skincare influencers, and some of their content just hasn't been hitting lately. It's the same regurgitated content in different forms with different products over and over again. Like I said, I had kind of already decided that I feel defeated with, like, I'm always gonna have acne. I'm always gonna have issues. I don't have anything on my skin right now, by the way. I just have some lip balm on and then whatever's on my eyes. But my skin right now is just skincare and sunscreen. This is all I have on my face right now. A toner, dark spot serum. Focus, please. Moisturizer, eye cream, and sunscreen. So this is what I have on my face right now. But like, if I step back and like look at it, and I'm not like super up close, my skin looks fine. Like, I have nothing to stress about or to really worry about. Yes, wrinkles are starting to come in. That's my fault for always frowning. Whenever I'm concentrating, I'm frowning really hard. And then, yeah, these guys up here, I've been able to maintain them. I haven't been able to get rid of them, and it's okay. I don't want to get rid of them. Hyperpigmentation. I still break out a lot, and I do still kind of tend to scratch at my little breakouts here and there. I do have like a lot of like really under the skin type breakouts, a lot of texture. I feel like a lot of bumpiness here, and a lot of like really congested pores. Or I guess it would just be normal sebum production that we're taught to think that it's clogged pores, but I just have really overactive sebum glands. And I've tried everything to minimize it, and I think I've done a good job at maintaining things. But I don't know why I'm still stuck with this idea, or like it's like it's not even a conscious thought when I'm scrolling. But this particular reel was from a dermatologist I follow, and it said, like, bumpy chin, try this, and it scrolls to the next slide. And I was like, oh, what is this mysterious product that's gonna help clear out the bumpiness on my chins? Because I do get a lot of really deep under the skin acne, or just bumps, clogged pores. I don't know what they are. They're there. I was like, what is this mysterious miracle cure that's going to solve my issue? Salicylic acid, a clarifying exfoliant from Panoxyl. And I'm like I haven't been trying salicylic acid for like ever. That's no miracle cure. And then of course, slow down pigmentation production and brightens. Alpha arbutin. I've tried alpha arbutin too, but I feel like for me, for the dark spots, azelaic acid, tranexamic acid, kojic acid. And I have something that has been working for me. But just because it works for me does not necessarily mean it's going to work for you. But we'll get to this conversation. And then, do you have breakouts? Well, guess what the recommendation for treating breakouts is? Retinal. Retinal is probably my most consistent active that I use that I use almost freaking daily. Like, there have been times where I have fallen off, but it was not for too long. Retinal has been like my most consistent active that I use for at least the past 4 or 5 years. And then, do you have clogged pores? Sulfur. I've tried sulfur in many applications, and same, it does not work. And I just kind of like, was like, why do I keep thinking that there's going to be one miracle product that is going to solve all these issues when I have tried all of these actives that are constantly being recommended to treat these issues? And I was like, you dummy, you keep being influenced. You keep getting sucked into thinking that there's going to be something that is going to solve all your skin issues. That product might be out there, but I know of things that work for me, and then I've tried so many things. I am so embarrassed of the amount of money and the amount of things I have purchased from these types of reels, recommending things that are going to solve all of my skin concerns and all of my issues. And I am no longer falling for that. I'm still going to use skincare, but not to that extent anymore, especially after the trial and error that I have had and all of the fails, trials and errors, and I know what works for me now, and I know what I want to stick with. So I know everyone's relationship with skincare is a little bit different, but mine started back when I was probably in middle school. I used to beg my parents to buy me the Proactive system because that was promised to help heal acne, make your skin look better. Like, this was the freaking miracle cure of acne back then, the Proactive system. Sorry if I'm like really out of breath here. I've noticed too, now this is another thing that I'm focusing on, is really dialing down my diet. This is the first time I've had coffee in the morning in like a couple weeks. I gave up coffee because I noticed that it really spikes up my blood pressure. And when my blood pressure gets up, I realize I get really out of breath. So that's one thing I'm trying to focus on too, is really cleaning up my diet. And I've been messing with it on and off for a few months now. And I'm finding little things that trigger certain reactions in my body. And coffee is one of those things that I have to dial back to an every now and then thing. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, back when I was a teenager, I really wanted this Proactive system because I had started getting really bad acne. And of course, when you're a teenager, when you're in high school, middle school, it feels like that is it. Like, your life is over when any little inconvenience happens at that time in life. And then looking back now, middle school and high school is like nothing. It was meaningless. It's so irrelevant in life right now, in my current state. All of those little tiny things that used to happen back then are just like, I can roll my eyes back at them and be like, it wasn't that dramatic. But of course, you know, when you're that age, everything is just like the end of the world. Any little inconvenience. We couldn't afford the Proactive thing, but one day my parents actually got it for me. I tried it for 3 months, and I was using it so consistently, and nothing happened. My skin still stayed like all acne, bumpy, scarred up, and everything. And that was so disappointing. That was probably the last time I used skincare up until 2020, 2021, when I started starting to take care of my skin. So that was a big leap, right? From being a teenager to trying that and it just having nothing work, to now in this new age of skincare recommendations on YouTube and everything. Same like with the on Instagram, and I guess now TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, so that's all on you guys. I'm staying out of that. I'm not dipping my toes into that. But yeah, I started watching like Hiram and like James Welsh, and then any little thing that they would say about like how to treat this and how to treat that. I was listening so actively and I was taking notes. So I was always told salicylic acid breaks down any dead cells or any clogs in like your pores, and it breaks all that stuff down so you have cleaner pores. Retinoids help with cell turnover. So some more cell turnover means that it'll clear out, say, more of that gunk in your skin, and it's just you're going to have fresher layers of skin, and anything bad in there is just going to get pushed out. Any old hyperpigmentation that you have, that's eventually going to come off because that skin's going to be regenerating. And then it's going to also help with the buildup of collagen, so you're going to have like plumper skin. less wrinkles, everything, right? Of course, hyperpigmentation, the tyrosinase inhibitors or whatever, the melanocytes that they kept talking about that like make that pigmentation happen, and how to prevent that. They would say azelaic acid is really good at preventing that process from even happening. Sunscreen, of course, sunscreen. Everyone was told, use your sunscreen. All your other steps are pointless if you don't use your sunscreen, right? So I took notes and I bought it, and I would wait to see if I had those miracle results happen. And I will say that I have had improvements. So, salicylic acid. I currently have this prequel salicylic acid. It has all these other nice ingredients in it. Sorry, it's a little gunky. This sits on my counter in the bathroom by the faucet for when I wash my face, but it's a really hydrating salicylic acid cleanser, and it's for face and body, and it says it's clinically tested for 24 hours of moisture because it has 50% glycerin. But I've noticed that salicylic acid does not do a good job at keeping my pores clean. Only reason I have this one right now is because Naturium discontinued, I think, the benzoyl peroxide cleanser. I've realized that benzoyl peroxide does a really, really good job at keeping my acne at bay. I use this one on my body. It's the Paula's Choice one. It is a 2.5% benzoyl peroxide. I use this on my body, like I said. I, for whatever reason, this is TMI. Keep this between us, okay? I get really bad acne on my left bum. Only my left bum. And then on my back here between my shoulder blades, it's really bad. But this has really been helping clear that up. I would love to use this on my face, but I don't know if it'll react well with the other stuff I use. And then I'm not trying to stain my clothes. My sleeping clothes, I'm okay if that's all stained and bleached. My daytime clothes, I don't want that to have like bleach stains all over the place. Plus, if I go lay down on the couch, take a little nap, I don't want it to stain the pillows. But yeah, salicylic acid had just been one of those things that does not work. And I kept trying different forms of salicylic acid, like maybe this one's gonna work, maybe that one's gonna work. And fail after fail after fail, because everything had been recommended to be like, this is going to be the be-all, cure-all for all your acne. And it just never was that. Before I go into the stack of stuff that does not work for me, or that I have tried and have just hated, that I have been influenced to buy, I'm going to show you the stuff that has been working, and then just because it works for me does not necessarily mean it's going to work for you. And then also I have come to the realization that the acne is always going to be there, the pigmentation is always going to be there. It's just a matter of how disciplined I am with keeping my hands off of my face, and then how disciplined I am and not freaking out and then just throwing stuff at my face to try to combat that and fix it. I have noticed that my skin is good for 2 weeks out of the month. The other 2, it's hormonal and it is angry. I will break out. I have those really like deep under the skin breakouts here where all you can feel is the little nodule, but there is no exit for the acne to go. And then I still have like really deep ones up here. Sometimes I'll get like really deep acne here. I'll break out here sometimes, like in this area. My nose gets really congested. I have to manually squeeze all of the sebum. I know that's like really gross on my nose and on my chin because I have not found anything to keep those sebum levels under control. And I know these happen very routinely with like my hormone levels. When it comes to a certain time, the sebum that collects in here gets a little bit more noticeable than at other times, and I will gently squeeze them out when after like a shower. I'll gently squeeze them out and then wash my face afterwards just to maintain it not looking gross. Because I've also been told, well, wash your face more. Maybe you're not washing your face enough. I wash my face day and night. When I used to work on cars, I would wash my face after work. So I would wash my face 3 times a day. And I've always still had really congested pores. And I also want you to know that that is not you're a dirty person type thing. It is just what your body does. And If you're lucky enough to see a dermatologist, that's another thing too, is that I know some people will say, well, like maybe you're not using the right products, or maybe you're using products that are going to exacerbate that. I've tried like everything. I've tried a lot. Like I've overconsumed a lot. And I've also tried to see a dermatologist, but of course with insurance, you have to be recommended by your doctor, your primary doctor. And I've actually asked about a thing that I have on my ankle here. It's like back here. I'll take a picture of it. But I have this thing that looks like a melanoma, and I've asked 2 doctors about it. And they say nothing. Like, I'll tell them, hey, do you think this is something I should be concerned about? Or is it something that I can get referred to a dermatologist to look at? And I will just get silence. Like, the lack of acknowledgement. Like, if they don't acknowledge it, then there is no liability if something happens. This is my mentality of, like, maybe what they're thinking. Like, if I just don't acknowledge this, then they can't bring it back on me for not pushing it forward. But I'm pretty convinced that that is a melanoma and is something that should be looked at. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I don't trust doctors. I can't afford a dermatologist of my own, out of my own pocket, unless there's like assistance with insurance. But I don't even have insurance right now. So I would love to have, you know, that second pair of eyes or that expert knowledge helping me tweak something so that maybe one day I could like have not such a battle with my skin. But I know that's not going to happen. And then also too, speaking of hormones, I know that with those hormone fluctuations, I will get really bad pigmentation here. This pigmentation comes and goes with my hormone levels. There will be times when I am not even in the sun, like I have had 0 sun exposure, and these will get worse. The pigmentation there. So that's like totally out of my control. That's all hormonal. If I went to the doctor and they were like, well, your hormones are not balanced, take this hormone medication, I don't think I would be wanting to take a hormone replacement type thingy medication. I'd rather do it the natural way. So that's why I've kind of been playing with my food to see what kind of helps alleviate things. But anyways, all to say that there are things that are out of your control that will happen that will maybe prevent you from having that perfectly clear skin that you've always wanted, which is something that I don't have that goal for myself anymore. I am content with just maintaining things the way that they are. And if they get better, they get better. But these are the products that I am sticking to going forward after I use up all the other nonsense that I bought. For cleanser, I don't really care too much if it's a benzoyl peroxide salicylic, if it has any benefits to any additional actives in it. I'm over it. I am sticking with the SkinFix Barrier Plus Foaming Oil Cleanser. This is really gentle. It does a really good job at cleaning my face very thoroughly, and it leaves no residue, and my skin feels really soft afterwards. This is going to be my cleanser going forward, night and day. As for treatments for daytime, the Topical Faded Brightening and Clearing Serum. This one has kojic acid, tranexamic acid, and niacinamide, and azelaic acid. Niacinamide does a good job at balancing oil levels, and azelaic does a really good job at preventing hyperpigmentation from even forming, and then kojic acid, tranexamic acid helps fade that hyperpigmentation. This has been really good, and I've been using, this is like my 3rd tube in a row so far. Recently I picked this one up, but that's just because I was curious, but I don't think I will use this one again. It's a little bit on the oilier side, but this also has tranexamic acid, azelaic acid, and niacinamide. After I'm done with that, I'm gonna go back to my Topicals Faded. For my nighttime active, I'm gonna use my Youth to the People Retinal Serum. I really like this one. This one is a retinal, but it's not too harsh on my skin, and it leaves my skin feeling very soft. Like, just the overall texture of my skin is very pleasant, and it does a good enough job at maintaining my wrinkles from not getting any worse. Right now I'm finishing this one up. This is the Drunk Elephant. No, this one's really strong, and that's what I like about it, but I do have to back off sometimes, like after 3 weeks of using it. So that's why I'm just going with this one. This one just feels safer, and it's very effective. But right now I'm finishing this one up. I've noticed that if I don't use an eye cream, my under eyes do get a little darker and they do get like a little crepey. So I used to use the Biossance Marine Algae eye cream, but it's really expensive and I've been trying to find something that's cheaper. Right now I'm using this Paula's Choice Pro Peptide eye cream because I did try this one out. This is the Paula's Choice Peptide Moisturizer. It is a gel moisturizer, but it's very, very moisturizing. This one too leaves my face very soft, but I have another one that I'm going to use instead of this just because I like it a little bit more. But because this was so good, I decided to try this peptide cream. So I'm still working on finding like an eye cream that's fairly affordable, but for right now I'm using this guy for moisturizer. Like I said, this one's good, but I like the Use to the People Polypeptide 121 peptide cream or future cream, whatever it is. I really like this one, and this is going to be like my night and day moisturizer. And then for daytime, the last daytime thing is this Use to the People sunscreen. I really like this one because it absorbs very easily. It smells really nice. It's an SPF 60. It's something I can buy here locally. I know a lot of the Asian sunscreens have suddenly been available in store, but we all know that that's a different formulation than what we're used to buying like on YesStyle and stuff like that. And if I am able to put in a big order of like sunscreens and then have them shipped here again from YesStyle, I might do that in the future, but right now I'm trying to keep things cheaper or like more affordable. They are affordable sunscreens, but I just mean like I'm not willing to put in like a massive order right now, and this is something I can pick up in store or have shipped for free here locally in the US. It is a chemical sunscreen and it's comfortable. It's very moisturizing. I know I look a little dewy right now, but I rather look a little dewy than to have really dry, tuggy skin. Going forward, this is going to be my skincare routine right here. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna keep it super simple because that's what has worked, and that is what I should continue using if I know it works for me. As for exfoliant, my preferred method of exfoliating is this one's from this morning, but I usually use a clean one of these to dry my face after I wash my face. I use a clean one every single day, and then at nighttime I use a separate brand new fresh clean one. But occasionally I'll take one of those washcloths and I'll use my regular body soap, and then I'll just very softly and very small circular motions go through, get into little areas here and there. Just really take my time. Do that maybe a couple times a month, and that's my preferred method of exfoliation to get any like leftover dead skin off of my face. So that's it. That's going to be my simple, super simplified skincare routine, and I don't want to fall into any more of these hyped up products that are promising to perform miracles for your skin. Because that day I also kept scrolling, and then the same dermatologist that was recommending these products for the different concerns, I saw another video of hers that she got like CO2 resurfacing on her eyelids and on her under eye skin to reduce crepiness, and this process was like so scary, creepy, traumatizing. But they shoved this like metal like circular like cup thingy under her eyelids, tucked it over her eyeball pretty much, underneath the eyelids, and then it had this like little stem that stuck out. So she has her eyes closed with this like little stem that stuck out, and then they got this little laser just like resurfacing her eyelid skin, pretty much like burning or like it was a really creepy process. So now she has like all of this like skin here just like red and irritated, but it's gonna heal and it's gonna help improve the appearance of the crepiness. And I was like, well, that's all the proof I really need, is that skincare only gets you to a certain level. Anything else is procedures. Same thing with the skincare influencers that I used to follow. I still follow, I still watch. I just don't take their product recommendations as seriously as I used to, because I also know that some of these influencers get fillers, they get Botox. I'm sure they also get facials. They probably get other face treatments that they have access to, and that's why their skin looks so good. I don't ever want fillers. I don't ever want Botox. I feel on the fence about getting facials because I feel like I'm just going to have that luck of the draw where I go and I'm going to get that one esthetician that just doesn't know what they're doing, or they're having a bad day, and it's gonna mess up my skin and set me back like a lot more. So yeah, that just really cemented it for me that all of these results that they are promising aren't as realistic because of all of these additional things that they do for their face, for their skin. And I know it's like, why are you showing us all this stuff that you're using? Like I said, this is just what I have decided to dwindle my skincare routine down to, because I'm about to show you all of the embarrassing overconsumption that I have purchased and all the other things that I have been influenced to purchase. And just because these things work for me, like I said, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. And yes, it's going to take a little bit of trial and error to find out what works for you, what actually takes care of some of these concerns. But I also want you to keep in mind how realistic those results are going to be, because it's not going to be an overnight miracle, and it doesn't mean that once after you finish a bottle you're just magically going to have the cleanest pores forever and ever. Your body's going to do things that are completely out of your control. And then as women, we have a lot of things that go against us, like with hormones. And I really see that when I look at my boyfriend. He has flawless skin, beautiful skin. No hyperpigmentation issues. If he breaks out, it's the end of the world for him, because that's how rarely he breaks out. Like, if he has one breakout, it's like end of the world. But his skincare routine is non-existent. Just like that stereotypical trope of all of the guys, how they have that all-in-one body wash. That's what he uses for his shampoo, for no conditioner, of course, and it's his body wash, it's his everything. And then when he gets out of the shower during winter times, he uses like a Gold Bond Repair body lotion, and he uses that on like his arms, his hands, on his face, any dry skin that he has, that's what he uses. And then Vaseline on his lips, and then during the summer he just does the Vaseline on his lips, and that's it. And his skin is like so much healthier than mine, so it's kind of like, how is this fair? Right? And then if I go on that same routine as him, my skin's not going to do the greatest. So, let's go through my little basket of shame.
This is just what I have left over right now. Over the 4 or 5 years, there have been so many more products I have purchased. And I have a few more bottles of stuff I didn't show here that are unopened, but I was influenced to buy and still have to use up. I wish I hadn't wasted all that money, but lesson learned.
Starting with one that I didn't think I would be influenced, and this isn't face care, this is body care, the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Bum Bum Cream. I don't like the scent of this. Scent is too powerful. Yes, I haven't used too much of it, but I do need to finish this up. I'm forcing myself to work through all this stuff. This one, I know it says it's supposed to visibly tighten the appearance of skin. I don't think it does that. It says it's fast absorbing. I still feel the residue of it. I don't enjoy using it. I don't enjoy the smell. I don't see any tightening or anything like that. So I don't think I will ever buy like a Sol de Janeiro product, because I just don't think they're for me. I don't like to have these scents and that thick, suffocating layer of lotion residue on my skin. This was not for me. The Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors and HA. I think that's hyaluronic acid. This guy here. I didn't like this because even though it's a very fluffy, creamy, kind of whipped consistency of a lotion, I use this on my face. And while it does say it's hydrating, I put it on the wrong side. Okay, while it does say this is hydrating, I feel like it just sits on the top layer of my skin and it doesn't absorb into my skin. It doesn't do much for hydrating. So I just didn't like that one. Even though the Ordinary stuff is very affordable, this was a no for me. Now, I had heard a lot of hype about the Caroline Hyren Skin Rocks line here, her products. This is the Retinoid 2. It's an intermediate strength retinoid, and it is fragrance free, but I felt like this did almost nothing, and I went through the bottle really quickly. I'm still working on finishing up this one because I think it was like a free one with your purchase, so that's why I have this one. I'm working on finishing this. I'll do this in between nights. I'll alternate through it just to get through this, but this one was not very effective for me, and it just had like almost no results. This was like using pretty much face lotion for me. And then this Glow Recipe Cloud Bright Moisturizer Cream. This one too, it was like really hyped up. I think James Walsh too really hyped this one out and said it was kind of like one of those like underslept thingies. It's just like thick cream, but it takes forever to work into the skin. There's always like this like top layer residue and I have to keep working it. I know you might think I put a lot on, but even if I use a little, I have to really work it into the skin for it to absorb. And it doesn't really do much for hydrating or moisturizing, so this one was a big fail. Another Glow Recipe one that I have that also kind of did nothing for my skin is this banana one. I never got the chance to try this one before they discontinued it, and then they brought it back for their like 10-year anniversary thing for their night markets thing. It smells like artificial banana. As you can tell, a lot of these are like barely used. But same thing, has like no benefits for my skin at all. It's a very, very, very light moisturizer. I mean, this one's not available anymore. You can't even get it, but it was like really hyped, and I bought it expecting same thing, like just immediately like plump, happy, healthy skin, and my skin was just like feeling dry after not too long of using this. I might as well have not used the moisturizer. This one though, this Glow Recipe, the Watermelon Glow PHA BHA Pore Tight Toner, I actually do like this one. This one is nice. It smells good. I know it has like watermelon juice and like cactus juice for the hydrating, and then the PHA BHA for the pore refining. This is good for upkeep of kind of keeping that sebum under control, and I would usually use this during the daytime. I'm just going to try to not use a toner going forward after I finish this and a couple of the other toners I have, but this one's actually good, and I actually did enjoy using it, but I'm going to try to not use a toner if I can get away with it. The Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. I would put this on overnight after all of my skincare, and I expected to have much more hydrated and moisturized skin after waking up the next day, and my skin actually kind of looked a little bit more dry and dehydrated. This did nothing for me too, so this was one that was like really hyped up, and it was just kind of like a big waste of money. Now, speaking of sulfur, this is like my third tube of this because I really thought that sulfur was really gonna help clear out my like pore situation here with all the sebum. That's why I was like really just trying to stick with this, because I was like, well, you only used one tube. How consistently do you think you're supposed to use something in order for results to actually show up? Maybe one tube isn't enough. So this is my third tube and my last tube. I give up on sulfur. I have used other sulfur treatments. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were. But this one has glacial sea clay, volcanic clay with sulfur, spirulina, blue kelp, vial ferment. You're supposed to use 1 to 3 times a week. You leave it on for 10 minutes and then rinse it off. It does suds up, kind of like a cleanser. This is the Hero Pore Purity Pore Cleansing Clay. Like I said, it did nothing. If anything, it just turned my skin red and angry. This is a big no. This one I actually liked, and I am still using, and I'm going to finish up. It's the Sunday Riley's CEO Glow Vitamin C Turmeric Face Oil. Very pricey, but this has actually been having really nice benefits. I just need to be more consistent with it. It does feel a little bit glowy. I'm sure it's because it's like I have this orange tinted oil on my skin, but I use this at nighttime after I apply my retinol. See, that too, I feel like vitamin C and retinol shouldn't be combined, but they do say on their website to use this with their 5-star retinol cream, which I can't use because I think it has honey in it, so that's why I haven't tried that one. But it does say you can use it with that one, so I have been putting this on top of my retinoid and before my moisturizer at nighttime, and I really have been enjoying using this. It hasn't irritated my skin, and it has been having nice results. Back before I tried using all of the like mainstream stuff, I used to try to use like more natural skincare, and I still have this one kind of left over, but it's the Evan Healy Pomegranate Serum. Pomegranate is supposed to be good for fading pigmentation as well. That's why I got this. I will use at the end of my skincare routine just to kind of seal everything in. I really enjoyed the Evan Healy stuff actually. It's probably the only natural skincare that I use that didn't clog my pore ups or make it more angry. It's just really pricey. And for that price, I'd rather invest in actives that are kind of more proven to work rather than the natural stuff. But this one's really nice. Now this one is a sunscreen. It's the Undefined Beauty R&R Sunscreen SPF 50. This is, I think it's shade 1. They do have different shades of it. I'll probably show you in like a wear test later, but this one had been really hyped up. I think also James Walsh really hyped this one up. There's almost no coverage on it. It's supposed to be tinted, but there's like almost no coverage. It applies really greasy. It does kind of absorb eventually, but then my skin feels tight and dry. So I don't like that feeling of having like really tight, dry, dehydrated skin, but then having it be oily all at the same time. This was like a big no for me. Another Glow Recipe product here. This is the Plump Hyaluronic Acid. I got this because I thought it was going to help keep my skin more plump. They always say that there's a difference between moisturization and hydration. I thought this was going to help with the hydration, and it is nice, but it is so expensive for the amount of product you get. I just can't justify the price, and I feel like it's an unnecessary step. 2 more Glow Recipe products. This one too was really hyped up by like James Walsh. No shade to them too, by the way. Like, I enjoy watching them and I enjoy taking their advice, but I just feel like some of these products are just a little bit more overhyped than they should be. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. Same, I find no purpose in this. It has like no significant benefits. And it's supposed to like help, like same thing, like hydrate, add a little bit more hydration to your skin. Waste of money. I feel like it was a waste of money. And it kind of stinks. I don't enjoy the smell of it. This is a very fresh watermelon scent. This just doesn't smell as fresh. This smells like watermelon after it's been like sitting in the fridge for a couple days and it's starting to spoil. Like, it's not really spoiled yet, but it's starting to spoil. That's what this smells like to me. Another one too that I got from Glow Recipe. This is the Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. This is supposed to, same thing, like refine your pores and blur them. It's kind of more of a like makeup priming step, but I feel like this pills. And my makeup doesn't apply nicely over it, so this one was also a big fail and a big waste of money. But like I said, I'm trying to force myself to use all this stuff up. This one I really like. I'm actually using this one as a my nighttime retinoid, but I'm trying to eliminate additional steps, like I said, so I'm just going to use my regular retinoid under my on my under eyes. But this is the Sunday Riley's 5-star niacinamide eye cream. I know a lot of people say this is really strong, but my eyes really like this stuff. Like I said, the only reason I'm going to eliminate this one is just for cost and to reduce the overconsumption, because it does feel really icky to have all this stuff. Like I said, this is very embarrassing for me to be showing you how much stuff I have. But this one's good. I'm going to finish it up, but I will be using my face retinoid on my under eyes as well. Hopefully that goes well for me. Maybe I only do it like every other night. That way I don't irritate my under eye skin. But this one is very nice. Another big fail retinoid that I got is the Paula's Choice 1% retinoid treatment with peptides and vitamin C. This one did nothing. In fact, I think it kind of might have congested my skin a little more. This one was bad. I did not like that one. I'm using this on my body right now just to use it up. This Tower 28 SPF 30. I know they had a little bit of controversy with it, because they said this was going to be universal for all skin tones, and it ended up being not that at all. They got kind of called out on it. I don't know what the remedy for that was, but this is like a very nasty, like baby puke kind of orangey, gritty looking consistency. I just don't like it because you can tell you have this on your face. Like, there's just like this thick, nasty layer of residue on your skin. It just doesn't look great. I'm gonna finish all of these open sunscreens up as quickly as I can, but that was just not a pleasant one. I throw this on the weekends when we go grocery shopping just to make my way through it. Would not recommend. This is a completely mineral sunscreen, by the way. It's zinc oxide, but it is not going to work on every skin tone. It shows up on my skin, and my skin's like kind of on that like in between. I got this before they brought back the old formulation. This was from when they had reformulated it, and it just wasn't working for me. I'm starting to work my way through this too, but my skin just doesn't like this formulation of the SkinFix. And like I said, I know they have since brought back the OG formula, but it's really pricey too. So I'm just going to finish this one up, and that's it for this moisturizer for me. This one's almost empty, but this is the, is it Dew Skin? The Angel Air Hydrating Gel Cream. This also did nothing for my skin. I usually stay away from gel moisturizers. That's why I say I really like this Paula's Choice one, because it actually hydrates and moisturizes. This one just, my skin still feels dry and tuggy afterwards. It does nothing for it. It's not for me. I'm sure it's great for other people, but not for me. I saw this one being really hyped up, but it is just not what I hoped for. I also tried the under eye serum with the patches. I also did not enjoy that. Ooh, these ones I actually liked, and I'm still working my way through these, but this is the Naked Sundays Cabana Glow Mineral Serum Drops. It's a bronzy drop. It's an SPF 50. I have the blush drops back there. But these ones I really like, and I'm still working my way through this, but I don't use this all over my face as like a bronzing, like all over my face bronzing product. I use this like as I would a bronzer. I'll apply it to the tops of my forehead, same like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit on my nose, just to give me that a little bit of glow. And then the blush drops, I'll use that like as blush. But these have been really nice. Yeah, these guys, they have a really nice kind of pearlescent glow. Just so we don't waste these up. I guess I don't have any makeup on, but these are just really easy to blend out. I'm trying to do this without looking. Yeah, they're just like a nice way. I know I didn't do like too much for it to show up, but they're a nice way to add a little bit of color to your face and then still have some sun protection. So these ones I really like. I thought the Saltaire AHA serum deodorants were going to be really good for keeping odor at bay, because I like using more on the natural side deodorants. I don't like to use the aluminum based ones or the antiperspirant ones, because I want to let my body sweat and do its thing. I don't want to block up those pores, those sweat glands. So I thought that since this is an AHA, and AHA helps prevent the odor causing bacteria underneath the armpits, that it would work. But these actually make me stink more. These I would not recommend. They're like a rollerball type thingy. They smell good, but they make me stink way worse. These Abib products were all over my Instagram feed, and they were really being pushed on me. This is the overnight mask, the collagen eye patches, and these collagen gel pads. The overnight mask did absolutely nothing for me. These eye patches were meh at best. The collagen pads, I could take or leave. I didn't like, I have some toning pads back here that like are nicer. I have been using toning pads to wipe off any residue that this cleanser leaves behind, because this leaves a really thick residue. This whole Abib lineup was a complete waste of money, and they were like really pushing that like on me on Instagram. Speaking of kind of like pads and like patches and stuff like that, these Wander ones, it's like I might as well just not use anything. These were also very like overhyped for under eye patches. I might as well not have worn them. That's kind of like the result I get from them. So these were like also very overhyped. These Peace Out Retinol eye patches, I actually like these. These are kind of like a jelly cellulose type consistency. They're very juicy. I can't attest to the improvement of my like eye skin, like the wrinkles or anything like that, since this is like a, you pop them on for like 15 minutes and then take them off, and they do have retinol on them. These are enjoyable. Sometimes skincare can just be enjoyable, and this is an enjoyable eye patch for me to use. Like I said, the Wander ones just felt like they were like really overhyped, like they were going to make your under eye skin like look super amazing, and it was just not that. These microneedling like fine line patches, it feels like a waste of money to invest in these I would like also never repurchase again. I do enjoy these Beauty of Joseon Centella Asiatica calming masks just because like they're nice and cooling. These are very, very, very juicy. They're kind of like that bandage type style face mask, more kind of like this style type face mask. It's just enjoyable to use, but like I said, results wise, I think with face masks we shouldn't be expecting too much from them. And then this is kind of shameful, but I do enjoy these BRA pore strips. I manually squeeze these out, but every now and then I do enjoy putting some of these on, just because it does like a much more thorough job at getting all of that gunk out. And I will cut these up sometimes and put them on my cheeks, on my chin, and even on my forehead, because it gets very congested up in there, and the stuff that comes out on these is terrifying. Vitamin C's. My skin does not like vitamin C. I really tried to like this Dr. Idris Major Fade Active Seal. I keep going on and off back to this to try to finish it up. I'm going to use it on my body just to finish it up, but I'll be okay for the first 2 weeks, and then my skin will get red and angry. Same with this Paula's Choice Vitamin C. I'll be okay for a little bit and it'll make my skin angry, and I think this one even kind of makes me break out a little. I don't know what in the heck got me to be influenced to buy these Be Goldie drops. I think it was more because of it had like the niacinamide, and I think it might have promised to help with the pigmentation or something, but there is no reason why I would be using these Goldie drops. I mean, like, what would I use them for, like as highlight? Anything shimmery for the skin, it's just like a big no for me. I don't like that shimmery look on my skin. I feel like for people that have starting to have like wrinkles and textured on their skin, should stay away from any of those shimmery projects. Like those In Beauty Project, those little like glow drops or whatever they were, the illuminating drops, those were also terrible. This one too, I feel like it was really overhyped. This is the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum with ginseng and retinol. I'm trying to finish this one up too. Like I said, this one just feels like a little overhyped. I know some people say, oh, you can use this on your whole face instead of like a retinol. I didn't like this. And then there's this Haru Haru Wonder Centella Fido 5-Peptide Concentrate Cream. This is something I bought with my last Yes Style purchase. I'm almost done with it, but I feel like Asian beauty moisturizers don't work for my skin at all. I haven't used a single moisturizer that I like. I've also used those like Haru Haru Wonder, the little cups that look like little latte cups. Those are terrible. That was a big mistake. I did not like those either. This Bioma Milky Hydrating Toner with polyglutamic acid and cica. I really like this stuff. This is really nice for if you need just a little bit more, kind of like a light moisturizer to go underneath your moisturizer, because during winter times I know my skin is really going to get really like starved for moisture and hydration, and this would be like a good supplement just to give my skin like a little bit of help. But yeah, this one's very hydrating and it's very nice. It's affordable. This was a good purchase. I don't regret this one. This one was fun too, this Mixun Bean Essence. This is supposed to be kind of like a vegan replacement for the snail mucin. Let me show you this one. Yeah, but this one was really good. I like how it made my skin feel very plump and dewy and juicy, and it absorbs so nicely and it doesn't leave like a heavy residue. This one I would totally repurchase again, but like I said, I'm trying to eliminate all the non-essentials from my skincare routine, but that one was good. This Beauty of Joseon Glow Replenishing Rice Milk Toner. This was a good one too. It's like a biface. It has like a darker, like more like milky water, and then like that clear water, and you're supposed to shake it. One of them is supposed to have kind of like a sebum controlling layer. That's what the little more powdery looking layer is supposed to be, but this one was good. This is like the deep exact definition of what I would expect a toner to be. It prepped my skin for the rest of my actives. Like, it just gave my skin a very smooth, fresh feeling. There was like no tackiness, no like weird residue. It just felt very soft and smooth. This was really good, but like I said, I'm trying to eliminate any unnecessary steps in my skincare routine, any unnecessary spending. But if you're looking for a really nice, simple, light toner, this is a good one. And then I'm still making my way through this one. I haven't seen any like immediate benefit, but this is a really, really gentle exfoliant. This is a AHA PHA toner. It's from the brand Edam. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. But you're supposed to use this 3 times a week, applied to your, with a saturated cotton pad on your face and neck, and it's supposed to be a really gentle exfoliant. It is very gentle. It is milky. And it is very hydrating. So if you're looking for a really kind of like gentle, hydrating exfoliant toner, this is a really nice one. I would continue using this, but like I said, I'm trying to eliminate any unnecessary steps in my skincare routine, and I'm trying to dial back the spending. This is not skincare related, but anything, or, well, this one's a face wash, so it's kind of skincare related, but anything Pacifica that I have ever bought, I have instantly regretted it. I will not be purchasing any more Pacifica products going forward. And yeah, I think that's everything I have to talk about or to really use up. Like I said, I'm just kind of done trying to chase that holy grail product that is going to promise me the flawless skin that everyone is probably chasing for. Anyone that has like interest in skincare, I'm sure they're trying to chase after a certain goal. And I'm 36 now. I'm gonna have wrinkles. I think stuff's kind of aging okay for what it is. I do have like the jowls and stuff, but I'm not gonna do any extreme procedures or anything like that to take care of that. Like I said, as long as I'm maintaining or like using something to kind of keep the pigmentation in check, as long as I'm using kind of a retinoid to just kind of somewhat keep that cell turnover, and to just kind of, like I said, it's maintenance. Maintenance to keep any wrinkles, just to keep my collagen production up and going. And then I've always noticed that having a really good moisturizer is like probably the best thing that you can have in your skincare routine. And then of course having a sunscreen that you're going to use consistently and properly and with reapplication and everything. The moisturizer and the sunscreen are probably like the 2 things that are going to help you the most. And of course making sure you wash all of that stuff off. If you need like a cleansing balm, if you wear like a lot of makeup, you know, use that. I do enjoy the Glow Recipe, the papaya cleanser, but lately I've just been kind of using cleansing oil. I forgot which one it is, but it's in the bathroom right now. I'm not gonna run in there and get it, but I'll put it up here in the screen, just to make sure I break up the makeup when I do wear makeup, since of course I do makeup videos on here, but I make sure to get that off really well so that it doesn't stay and clog my pores. But yeah, that's just my little talk on skincare and how I'm going forward with it. Like I said, this is very embarrassing. Some of the other stuff that's in here, I kind of just feel like it's not really worth talking. I have like a lot of hair care products, like this Briogeo thing that I also didn't like. This was like very sticky, like a lot of residue was left in my hair. It just felt like I poured like sugar in my hair. It didn't feel good. I don't know why I was influenced to think castor oil was a good idea to put in my hair for hair regrowth, and then it was also supposed to be used on my skin to help like my skin look nicer. This castor oil stuff is so unpleasant to work with because of how thick it is. This Rare Beauty mist, I know a lot of people like the scent of these. I don't enjoy the scent. This is supposed to be like a body mist and like a hair mist. It's not fresh enough for me. It feels kind of stuffy. I don't like it. This thickening styling treatment from Virtue. I should see no point in using this. It doesn't really thicken or plump, and then I don't really even know how to style my hair, so I don't know what I was thinking trying to use this. Oh, here's 2 more skincare things. These Centella products from Skin 1004, I also feel are kind of overhyped. I just feel like I'm putting water on my skin, and I don't enjoy using them, so that's why these are still so full. I'm probably going to use them up on my body because they're starting to get a little old, but that's another thing that's in this little basket. Some Cocoa Kind products. This is an illuminating turmeric solution that's supposed to help with, it has 7% PHA, mandelic, and glycolic acid for soft and smooth skin. The only thing I didn't like about this is it has kind of a bit of a shimmer in it, and I don't enjoy, like I said, shimmery things on my skin, like all over my skin. If it's in a concentrated area, I welcome the shimmer, but if it's all over my skin, I don't enjoy it. This Glow Essence with sea grape caviar, it's a bright botanical essence for bright, even, and hydrated skin. This makes my face feel sticky, and it gives me a really annoying glow, like a really tacky glow. And then I'm still using this up, but I started using this on my body because it does kind of have a little bit of a thick residue that it leaves on the skin, and this is the Chlorophyll Discoloration Serum. But that's everything. That's actually everything for now. I don't think it's healthy to be chasing something that I feel is kind of promised to us with just skincare alone. I don't know if everyone falls into this trap with the consumerism, but it's feeling really gross to me, and I know I've talked about it a few times here where it's just like it's feeling really gross to me, and I thought I was kind of getting over it. That's why when I brought out my phone and I was scrolling and I was like, oh, what is this product? I was like, you're not really thinking of buying another product that is being promised to have results, right? And then when I saw what the product was, I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't need another product, and these are the same ingredients that I have been trying over and over again, and I feel like I'm capped out at the results that I can be getting from skincare. Anything else, like any pigmentation, is just gonna fade out with time. Time is probably the best remedy for it and keeping my fingers away from my skin. I want to be more mindful of where my money goes. And also with like a lot of these companies kind of coming up with how unethically they use to donate to certain things. Yeah, I'm just trying to be more careful with where I spend my money and with what companies I spend my money. But yeah, going forward, this is my core set of products. Maybe an eye cream, maybe a toner if I find the need for it. But I'm trying to keep things really simple and very realistic of the results and expectations. Alright, well, this was all over the place. Thanks for hearing me ramble. If you were here for all of it, you are a trooper. If you were here to listen to all these jumbled ramblings. But I hope to see you here in another video, and I hope you take care, and I hope you focus on what's important, and maybe think twice before getting caught up in this this little consumerism pool that we're all kind of drowning in. If you're better than me and you have a little bit more self-control, I'm proud of you. But yeah, anyways, see ya.